Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll be reading from Madhya Lila, chapter number 22, processes of the devotional service. Shlok number 23 will commence from Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yat Kripatamam Vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Devi hi Aisha Gunamai Mam Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Taranti Te. This shlok is also in Bhagavad-Gita 7.14, as Prabhupada says in the purport of this shlok. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. The translation of this verse goes like this. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Verse number 24. Krishna nitya das jivataha bhuli gela, ei doshe maya tar galaye bandhila. The living entity is bound around the neck by the chain of Maya because he has forgotten that he is eternally a servant of Krishna. Verse 25. Tate Krishna bhaje kare gurura sevana, Maya jal chute paye Krishnera charana. If the conditioned soul engages in the service of the Lord and simultaneously carries out the orders of his spiritual master and serves him, he can get out of the clutches of Maya and become eligible for shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. Purport. It is a fact that every living entity is eternally a servant of Krishna. This is forgotten due to the influence of Maya, which induces one to believe in material happiness. Being illusioned by Maya, one thinks that the material happiness is the only desirable object. This material consciousness is like a chain around the neck of the conditioned soul. As long as he is bound to the conception, he cannot get out of Maya's clutches. However, if the Krishna's mercy, he gets in touch with a bona fide spiritual master, abides by his order and serves him, engaging other conditioned souls in the Lord's service, then he attains liberation and Lord Krishna's shelter. Verse number 26. Chari Varanashrami yadi Krishna nahi bhaje, swakarma karite se raurave padi mache. The followers of the Varnashram institution accept the regulative principles of the four social orders, that is the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and four spiritual orders, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, he falls into a hellish conditions of material life. Purport. One may be Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, or one may perfectly follow the spiritual principles of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas, but ultimately one falls down into a hellish condition unless one becomes a devotee. Without developing one's dormant Krishna consciousness, one cannot be factually elevated. The regulative principles of Varnashram Dharma in themselves are insufficient for attainment of the highest perfection. That is confirmed in the following two quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.2 and 3. So even one is following the Varna and the Ashram, and if they are not a devotee of Krishna, they will be a devotee of Maya. Verse 27. Mukta Baharu Padebhyaha Purushashya Ramay Saha Chatvaro Jajnire Varna Gunair Vipradayah Prithak. From the mouth of Brahma, the Brahminical order has come into existence. Similarly, from his arms, the Kshatriyas have come. From his waist, the Vaishyas have come, and from his legs, the Shudras have come. These four orders and their spiritual counterparts, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas, combine to make human society complete. Verse 28. Ya esham purusham sakshad atma prabhavam ishwaram na bhajanti avajananti sthanad brashtaha patanti adha. If one simply maintains an official position in the four varnas and ashrams but does not worship the Supreme Person, Lord Vishnu, he falls down from his puffed up position into a hellish condition. Verse 29. Janani Jivan Mukta Dasha Painu Kari Mane Vastutah Buddhi Shuddha Nahe Krishna Bhakti Vinay. There are many philosophical speculators as the Gyanis belonging to the Mayavad school who consider themselves liberated and call themselves Narayan. But their intelligence is not purified unless they engage in Krishna's devotional service. Verse 30. Ye anye ravindaksh vimukta maninas tvai asta bhavad avishuddha buddhayah aruhya krichrena param padam tatah patanti adho anadrita yushmad angrayah. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life but they do not render devotional service to you must be of impure intelligence, although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise, like they say, aruhya, to the spiritual position, that is, ascend to the spiritual position, to impersonal Brahman realization. They fall down again because they neglect the worship to worship your lotus feet. Purport, this is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 32. Verse 31. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakar Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Mayar Adhikar. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish. Purport in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.34, it is stated, Rite artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyad atmano mayam yathabhaso yathatam. Without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of the real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. Wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. When a living entity becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved of material lusty desires. Lusty desires and greed are associated with rajas and tamas, passion and darkness. When one comes to Krishna consciousness, the modes of passion and darkness immediately vanish, and then the mode of goodness, sattva gun, remains. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he can make spiritual advancement and understand things clearly. This position is not possible for everyone. When a person is Krishna consciousness, he continuously hears about Krishna, thinks about him, worships him and serves him as a devotee. If he remains in Krishna consciousness in this way, the darkness of Maya certainly will not be able to touch him. Verse 32. Vilajmanaya yasya sthanam sthatum iksha pathe moya vimohita vikathante mamaham iti durdhiyaha. The external illusory energy of Krishna, known as Maya, is always ashamed to stand in front of Krishna, just as darkness is ashamed to stand before the sunshine. However, that Maya bewilders unfortunate people who have no intelligence, thus they simply boast that this material world is theirs and they are its enjoyers. Purport, the entire world is bewildered because people are thinking this is my land, America is mine, India is mine, not knowing the real value of life. People think that the material body and the land where it is produced are all in all. This is the basic principle behind nationalism, socialism and communism. Such thinking, which simply bewilders the living being, is nothing but rascalism. It is due to the darkness of Maya, but as soon as one becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved from such misconceptions. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5.13. There is also another appropriate verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.7.47. Shashvat Prashantam Abhayam Pratibodha Matram Shuddham Samam Sad Ashtaha Paramatma Tattvam Shabdo Nayatra Puru Karakwan Kriyartho Maya Paraiti Abhimukhe Cha Vilajmana Tadvai Padam Bhagavata Paramasya Pumso Brahmeti Yad Vidur Ajasra Sukham Vishokam. What is realized as the absolute Brahman is full of unlimited bliss without grief. That is certainly the ultimate phase of the Supreme Enjoyer. The personality of Godhead, he is eternally devoid of all disturbances, fearless, completely conscious, as opposed to matter, uncontaminated and without distinctions. He is the principal primeval cause of all cause and effects, in whom There is no sacrifice for fruitive activities, and in whom the illusory energy does not stand. This verse was spoken by Lord Brahma when he was questioned by great sage Narad. Narad was surprised to see the creator of the universe meditating, for this indicated there might be someone greater than Lord Brahma. While answering great sage Narad, Lord Brahma described the position of Maya and the bewildered living entities. This verse was spoken in that connection. Verse 33, Krishna tomar hena yadi bale ek bar, Maya bandhaite Krishna tare kare par. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Verse 34, Sakrid eva prapanno yas tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvata tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. It is my vow that if only one seriously surrenders unto me, saying, My dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. Purport: this verse is from Ramayana Yuddha Kanda 18.33 and was spoken by Lord Ramchandra. It's a short reading today. We'll continue next time. But so beautiful verses to end on, that even if we once utter these words that very sincerely, that Krishna, I'm surrendering to you, God is going to give us the courage, and we'll be safe from that time onwards. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.